Hello guys, welcome to my channel. And so today is lesson 3 and we are going to know how to set the machine as a beginner. But before then, we are going to also learn about the different types of machines that we have and also the parts of machine. As a beginner, you need to know all these things so that you know how to use each part and what it is meant for and how to go about it. Yes, so please, if you are watching me and you have not yet subscribed, consider subscribing, like and share this video. Let's get started. We are going to take the types of machine one after the other. We have the manual machine that doesn't use electricity to work. It works manually. We have the electrical machine that needs electricity to work very well. We have the industrial machine for major work for industrial purposes. And we have the threading that doesn't use electricity but the feet to thread it and sew well. We have the automatic machine that is computerized for speed and everything controlled. We also have the overlock machine that we use to knit our dresses or overlock our dresses. We have the embroidered machine that is used for designs in our dresses. Okay, let's look at parts and functions of sewing machine. There are a lot, but we are going to look at few. We have the balance wheel, which we usually see on the manual machine. It controls the paddling of the manual machine. We have the face plate, which covers the oiling parts where the needle bar is located and also the presser bar is located. We have the throat plate that has holes where the needle pass to take up thread for sewing. And we also have the spool pin. Locally you can call it thread holder. It also helps to hold the thread in place. We have the bobbin case, which holds the bobbin properly in order to fix it to the shuttle area. And we have the shuttle. This is where we fix the bobbin case with the bobbin and thread. And this is stitch regulator that increases or decreases the stitches. We have the stitch indicator. It has the numbers of stitches indicated on them. We have the press bar that helps to lift up and also down for us to sew. And these are some of the parts with the names. This is feed dog. Some people also call it machine teeth. So let's take notes. We have the needle clamp. It helps to hold and tighten the needle in place. And we have the needle bar thread guide, which also helps to guide the thread for sewing. We have extra parts which we need to learn. You can search more online. Presser footer. There are a lot of presser footers or presser footers that you can use. This is the regular footer we use in sewing fabrics, and this is zip footer used for zips, particularly for zips. This one is button press footer used to create button holes. Yes. Okay, let's look at sewing machine needles. There are lots of them, but we'll look at few ones. We have the universal. That is what we use to sew everything, universal needle. And we have the stretchy needle or stretch needle for stretchy fabric. Jeans needle for specifically jeans. Yes, jeans. And also we have sizes of needle. When you buy your machine for the first time, the needle in, that is the size you need to use whenever you are going to buy a new one. Now that we know the types of machine and its parts, we'll first start with how to operate the electric machine. I have with me the manual machine, which has been turned into electric machine. So this is the motor here. This is the handle for the manual machine, the hand sewing machine, but I have taken it off and turned it into electric machine using a motor. And so the difference is that instead of using this manual, the handle to roll like this for it to help you in sewing, we have taken it off and just pressing on the motor, you'll be able to sew without necessarily using this. So we'll learn how to pass the thread on the manual machine and how to pass the thread on the electric machine. Okay, the electric machine comes with different types of footers. And usually this is the bobbin you see in most of the electric machine, and this is the bobbin you see in manual machine, usually what you see in the manual machine. So we'll first open the electric machine this way, and then this is where we have our shuttle. So take our shuttles. I just want to teach you how to fix the shuttle. So this is the shuttle. Now when you want to fix it, you just have to place this shuttle here. This is where the thread and the needle usually pass, and so when you regulate it, you realize that this one is also regulating, and when you regulate it, it's regulates. So when you fix it here, when you are fixing, you have to be careful that it's at this position. Then you place it in carefully, then you will place it on top. This is supposed to be on top. This is where the needle will pass, or the thread will pass, and this is where it will lock it at this place. So place it there, hold it firm, and clip it and hold it in place. So you are done. Now we are going to know how to pull a thread on the bobbin with the electric machine. So on the electric machine too, we have a light at one side, so you just have to press on the light. Without the light, it will not work, so you have to press it on. I have mine at this side. This is the on and off switch. So at this point it's off. When I bring it, you see the red sign, it means it's on. This is our thread. You first place it on the thread holder, and then it will go around like this and come and hold this. Then you manually would have to roll a few on the bobbin. Then you place it on the bobbin roller this way. You don't leave it just like that, you push it back. If you leave it like that and you try to regulate it with your foot, you try to regulate it, it will not roll the thread. It will not roll the thread, right? At this position, it's in sewing position. So you realize that it is sewing here. Yes, so if I have a fabric here and thread, everything, it will be sewing. So at this position, it's on sewing position. And so you have to push it back. The moment you push it back, it will leave sewing position to rolling thread position. All that we have to do is to roll it. You have to guide it with your hand so that the thread doesn't leave its position. And so you'll be rolling. If it's full, it will stop rolling. When the thread is full, when it has gotten to its maximum, you'll be pressing, controlling, regulating, but it will not roll. It will stop. Then you push it back again and take it off, and you are done with your rolling the thread on the bobbin. We learn how to pass the thread on the machine. We would have to learn how to fix the needle, on the machine, how to fix them. So I will take it off and show you. This is very tight, so when you are doing, you have to use a screwdriver to open it. The machine comes with its own screwdriver, especially the electric machine, and so there is a hole here for the screwdriver, so you just have to fix it in, so it will open it for you. Then use your hand to open it. You remove the needle. This is the flat parts of the needle, and this is the ball parts of the needle, and this is the eye of the needle. Hope we can see. This is the eye of the needle. And so when you are fixing this electric machine, the eye of the needle is supposed to face you. The eye of the needle is supposed to face you. Okay, so you fix it in this way. you fix it in, then you will use your hand to roll it back. And for it to be very well tight, you use the screwdriver to tighten it well, so that when you are sewing it will not come out. So we have our needle fixed. Make sure the eye of the needle will face you. This is our thread, and when we look at it, the machine has arrows that shows where each thread is supposed to pass, where the thread is supposed to pass. If you miss one passage, it will not sew, and so you have to follow the numbers. This is usually on electric machines, and so this is 1. The thread will pass here, and then this is where the 2 is. This is 2. The arrow is down, and so you follow the arrow, and this is 3. This is 3. The arrow is going up, so you take it up, and then you regulate it. There's a hook here that is supposed to come out to hold the thread, and so you regulate it up. Then you hook it. That is 4. That is where 4 is. So hope you can see 4. Yes, this is 4. Then you take the thread down. This is where 5 is. 5. Okay, you take it down, and this is the needle bar. The needle bar has a hook there that helps to hold the thread in place. So you use it to hold it this way, and then you fix your thread in the needle. Difficult at all. You just have to follow the arrows. And one thing is, electric machine, usually the passage or the passing of the thread is, sometimes some of them may be a little bit different, but basically it's the same. But it might be maybe the kind of electric machine you are using, the passage, the thread passage is a bit different. But I'm teaching you with this so that you have the basic knowledge. Even if it's different, the difference is not that much. And so when we are done with it, we have our bobbin with the thread, and this is our bobbin case. We'll place it inside this way, and then this is the passage for the thread, and so the thread will have to pass here and come this way and come and pass through this to this point. So it's supposed to be like this. At the end of the day, you have to have your thread through this. Then you pull it out a bit, and you hold the bobbin case. If you don't hold it, you cannot fix it inside. It will come out. So when you hold it, the bobbin will be stuck into it. And then you bring it down here, and then you bring it down here, and so you are going to fix it inside. This point is supposed to hook. Hope you can see. Yes, so you're supposed to hook it. This point is supposed to hook it here. So you fix it inside, and then it will hook, and you leave it. That is all. Then in order to bring the down thread up, if the down thread is inside, you won't be able to sew. So the thread inside the machine, the bobbin case, is supposed to come up here, and so we will have to regulate it. You regulate it by holding the thread in the needle. You hold the thread in the needle and regulate it inside, and you still regulate. Even if it doesn't come up, still regulate it. And you can see that it is, when you look inside, it is pulling. It is going to pull the thread up. Then you pull it. So it's up. You have your thread well fixed or passed very well. And so this is it. So with this, you can sew. Now, when it comes to sewing with the machine, this machine has a lot of things on an electric machine for designs, depending on the effect you want to achieve. It also has numbers here, small regulators here with numbers. Depending on what you want to do, then you set it to that point. Mine is usually set on 7 for the stitches space, and this one to 3.2, and this I usually set it at 3. That is how loose or tight you want it. This will tell design you want. So when you look at A, when you come here, A means it is sewing straight. So this number A is for regular sewing. Then if you select B, B is going to tell you the shape we are going to get, zigzag and all. And so I'm going to make a bit of sewing for you to see. And so it's already on it's already at A. Press it on it this way. So when you press it on it, then you regulate it with your hand for the needle to go inside before you sew. And so when you have it in this position, then use your feet to regulate it. Bear in mind, if you are a beginner, you have to do it slowly. You have to take your time, don't rush. And so you do it slowly, and it will be sewing for you. It will be sewing for you. This is at A, so it will be sewing for you. Hope you can see it's sewing. It's sewing, yes. And so we are going to, when you are done sewing, you just have to lift it up, lift the footer up, and then you cut it. Now we are going to look at what B will give us. And so we use this regulator to regulate it to B. And so this is what we will get from B. We'll see the effects. This is B. Now I'm going to move it to C for us to see what we get. This is C. C will also give us something different. So at the end of the day, the effect you want is what you regulate it to. We turn it to D, and D will also give us a different one. When you are sewing, you get to the end and you want to secure it here, you will use this to secure. So when you hold it, press it this way, the sewing will take you back instead of forward. So let's see, it's taking me back. When I leave it, it will come forward. Then it will secure it for me. It will secure. So with this, there is no way the thread will be removing from the fabric. Then you cut it. So that's basically for the electric machine. As I said, some of the electric machine, it will be a bit different. But basically, they have most of the things in common. Now we are going to learn how to operate the manual machine that has been turned into electric. When we come to the manual machine, this is where the shuttle and the bobbin is fixed, just like the way the electric machine is also. And so we'll just raise it and take it out this way. And so the fixing of the shuttle and the bobbin is basically the same as the electric machine we were using. It's the same. And so you just fix it in here, and then you see this hole here. This is where the pin will lock it. So this one will go up. We'll take it up this way, and then it will lock it. And we will use this to hold it in place. And it's in place. And the bobbin case, the thread on. And this is where we used to roll a thread on the bobbin. Unfortunately, on this machine, this part isn't working well, and so we cannot use it to roll a thread on the bobbin. So sorry, I cannot give you tutorials on that. But we already have some thread on this. We are going to use it just as we did on the electric machine. We are going to do the same thing on the manual. Just a bit of difference. That's what we are going to. So we'll fix it in. And then this one will go here and come here. So you hold the bobbin case this way. You can either leave it this way, fix it this way, or you can decide to raise it and fix it, making sure that it holds it well. So now that we have fixed our bobbin with thread inside the machine, we are going to learn how to fix the needle. There are differences. Unlike the electric machine where the eye of the needle is supposed to face you, with the manual machine, it is not so. The eye of the needle is supposed to face left and right, not towards you like the electric machine, left and right. So you take it inside this way, regulate it. This one you don't need a how do you call it, you don't need a screwdriver to do it. You just have to regulate it and make sure that the eye of the needle will face left and right and not towards you. Okay, so after you push it inside this way, then after you lock it, we're going to learn how to pass our thread on the machine. And so I will put some, you can decide to fix your thread here or here, but I usually like to fix my thread at this position. Okay, some people go once like this, but I usually go round. I just want it tight, so it goes round like this. And this is the first passage. This machine too, if you miss one passage, it will not sew. Manual machine too is the same thing. If you miss one passage, it will not sew. So this is the first passage. This is the second passage. So it will come here. The thread will pass here. And then this is the third passage. This is the third passage. It will go. Make sure you are passing it through from behind and not in front like this. You miss it. If you pass it through this way, it will not sew. You can try it and you will believe me. So it has to come from behind this way. Pull the thread up, and there's a hook or a ring here. Use it to hook it, and then another ring here also will hold the thread. Now you are going to pass the thread in the through the needle. In passing the thread into the needle, you have to pass it from left to right and not from right to left. If you do it right to left, at the end of the day, it will not sew. So pass it from left to right. Then you pull it. Okay, so in order to get the thread inside the bobbin case, get it up, you just have to regulate it, and it will go inside this way and come up, and you pull it, and that is all. Then you close it and you can start your sewing. Now you come to the numbers here. Based on the effects you want, that is where you place it, but usually it's at 8 and 10. Usually it's at 8 and 10. Yes, if you want it to go back, you take it up this way. When you sew in, it will go back. If you want it tight, very tight, it can be here. This one will be very tight, small stitches. Then when it comes down like this, when you want to make gathers, or you can use this. So let's have it at the regular position and sew and see. So you would always have to make sure the thread will go back this way. You lift it, it's already lifted. So this is you lift it, the footer, you lift the footer, you press on it. If we were having the manual handle here, if we're having it here like this, like we'll just use this one to sew, but because we don't have it there, we'll just use the motor to sew. And so you just press, use your feet or your foot to regulate the motor, and it will be sewing. And it's sewing nicely. Now let's take it up and see at 30, 20, and see. The stitches are very small, very tight and small compared to this one. Now let's bring it to 7 and 6 and see the result. Let's see the results we are going to get. So it is also giving us loose or big stitches, unlike you see the 30 and then 20 very tight stitches. The 8 and 10, this is the results you got. That's the normal or usual stitches for sewing, and this are the 7. This is the very tight. Now let's bring it down and see, and it's also big just like the other one. And so when you get to the ends of the fabric and you want to secure it at the ends, you just take this up this way, and then it will sew backward. Then you bring it to the usual distance. It will sew front or forward. It will sew forward. Okay, and so then you are done. You hit it and pull the thread back, and that is it. So you are done sewing. And so my friends, this is the lesson for how to operate the electric machine and the manual machine. Please, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. If there's something you don't understand, you can leave a comment also there. Thanks, and God richly bless you. Bye bye.